Good morning. Our chalice lighting this morning is The Work That Takes Time by the Reverend Michelle Collins. We kindle this light for the work that takes time, the seed's unseen rooting, the tide's patient carving, the small turning of heart toward open ground. We look towards what is slow and true, the steady flame that sustains our days. Hello again. My name is Leslie Pete, and my pronouns are she and her. Our church shares a covenant that we make with one another, a promise that helps to remind us of why we gather and how we want to be with one another. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in saying our covenant together. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service. Please remain standing to sing our opening hymn. Natasha Walker, who joins us this morning, is the new Executive Director of the UU Advocacy Network of Illinois, also known as UUANI. Her background in HR and global operations at Google and Disney, her experience at Black Lives of UU Intersectional, combined with her identity as a Black single mother with neurodiverse children, gives her a unique perspective on UU social justice efforts. We welcome her this morning.
So I was welcoming the children, young and I'm getting out of order, my bad. Start. Start small. Start at the beginning. Start with imperfections. Start at a pace you can sustain. Start without an endpoint in mind. Start knowing you will make mistakes. Start with the information you have now. Start knowing that you are on a winding path. The quickest way to succeed is to start and figure it out as you go. You'll learn more in motion than you ever will in thought.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Natasha. We are going to now welcome our young and young at heart to come up to the front for our Wonder Box, which is a time when we wonder about what might be in there today. So I want you to wonder. What are you thinking? You don't have a lot of things to give you hints today, except for the name of the story is 1,000 No's. It's about having 1,000 no's. It's about having ideas. Sometimes you have to come up with a lot of bad ideas that are no's before you come up with that one good idea. So with that as a hint, what could be in our Wonder Box this morning? Yes. something. That is our guest every week. Okay, something else? A squirrel. A squirrel could be in our Wonder Box this morning. And a note. A nose. A nose is a good idea. A light bulb. That's a good idea too. A tree. Would you like to open the box this morning? That would be great. Come on up, Evan. Let's see what's in there. It is a light bulb. That was a good guess for an idea. Okay, you could set it back in there. Okay, you guys can all settle down, and now we're going to invite Natasha to come up to lead our story.
So this story is called 1,000 No's. It's by DJ Corchin, and I just learned that this is actually a local author who's from Wheeling. Did not know that. See how spirit moves? She had a great idea. Or at least she thought she did. That's when she got her first no. It was heavy, and it was hard to carry, and it kind of hurt. It's just one no, she thought. Surely I can handle one no. Then she got a second no. Ugh, this no was heavier than the last, and it was harder to carry, and it hurt even more. She tried to stop them, but the no's got inside her head. Her idea got bigger, enough, she thought. Then, another no. And another no. And another. Not only did her idea get heavier, but it got poked and twisted, and it started to change shape. Her idea got so big, it was clear she needed help. She wasn't sure how she felt about someone else helping with her idea. After all, it was her idea. But this called for drastic measures. Really drastic measures. No after no after no came. Some of them made her idea challenging. Some of them made it easier. And some split it into pieces. There were just so many no's, she needed more and more people to help. But soon, something interesting happened. She began to get curious about what her idea might end up looking like. In fact, it became fun for everyone to add more no's and see how her idea would change and grow. No, 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 no. No 997, no 998, no 999, and on the 1,000th no, she looked up and saw her great idea. That's a lot of no's. It didn't look anything like it did before. But she was okay with that.
Turned into yes!
As Elizabeth let us know earlier, we are in the midst of pledge season. And so this morning we have one of our newer members, Miles Olson, is going to come up and give his testimony and inspire you about why you should be filling out your pledge form. Come on up, Miles.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miles Olson, You can call me anything you want to, just don't call me late for dinner. I am here to talk to you about pledging and what CCUU means to me. I have been a member of CCUU for a year and some change now, and I'm a recovering Catholic, like a good portion of this congregation. I came to CCUU in 2024, and I immediately felt welcomed into a loving, growing community, and that still happens to this day. CCUU helps me to understand the human condition and helps me to continuously feed my curiosity. Another reason is the young adult group. Everyone in that group has now become my best friend, and I want to thank my friends for getting me outside of my comfort zone. They have given me the opportunity to try new things, such as hosting friends for the holidays, having spiritual discussions, and helps me even to explore different religions as well. One service that sticks with me at CCUU is the drum circle. You could feel the interconnectedness in that room. This place became my home, and with every home you live in has bills to pay. We are here to help pay those bills. The reason why I continue to pledge money at CCUU is I want individuals to experience the beauty that is CCUU. I want the community to grow and connect and take time, and there's a place for everybody here at CCUU. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Let's fund this home together.
Many of us dream of having a huge impact on the community. It's a challenge to have that impact alone, but together, with generosity of spirit, financial gifts, time, love, and talent coming up in April, we'll fulfill our mission. Together, we'll create a beloved community. Together, we'll inspire, heal, and belong. The offering will now be gratefully received.
poem of hope and vision from the elders of the Hopi Nation of Araibi, Arizona. We have been telling people that this is the 11th hour. Now we must go back and tell the people this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community, be good to each other, and do not look outside yourself for the leader. This could be a good time. There is a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are being torn apart, and they will suffer greatly. Know that the river has its destination. The elders saw we must let go of the shore and push off into the river. Keep our eyes open and our head above the water. See who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that you do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we have been waiting for.
This is a time in our service when we recognize the many joys and concerns that are held in our hearts. There's many ways you can share these with us. You can call either me or Reverend Karen. You can let the office know. You can call any one of our lay ministry people in the church, or simply leave us a message. But today we want to share that Mike Kalwas was named as the 2025 Volunteer of the Year for the Parks Department by the Palatine Park District for the work he has done on the prairie restoration behind the church. Yay! He was one of 13 volunteers named covering 13 different categories. We are so proud of you, and we are so grateful for all the work you do for this church and for the wider world. We also hold Allison Fowler in our thoughts and prayers. She had a medical event last week, but is recovering. We hope she feels better very soon. And finally, Mari Van Meter and Ed Munson share that their dog, Holly, had one of its legs amputated this week. It was challenging, but she's doing okay so far, and they're hopeful she's going to fully recover. Love and good thoughts go to them. For all other intentions which you might hold in the silent sanctuary of your heart, know that you are held within this community and you are loved. Please join in singing Spirit of Life.
Our reading is Poem for South African Women by June Jordan. a commemoration of the 40,000 women and children who, August 9, 1956, presented themselves in bodily protest against the Dom Pass in the capital of apartheid. This poem was presented at the United Nations, August 9, 1978. Our own shadows disappear as the feet of thousands, by the tens of thousands, pound the fallow land into new dust that, rising like a marvelous pollen, will be fertile, even as the first woman whispering imagination to the trees around her made for righteous fruit. From such deliberate defense of life as no other, still will claim inferior to any other safety in the world. The whispers, too, they intimate to the inmost ear of every spirit now aroused, they, carousing in ferocious affirmation of all peaceable and loving amplitude, sound a certainty, certainly unbounded heat from a baptismal smoke where, yes, there will be fire. And the babies cease alarms as mothers, raising arms and heart high as the stars so far unseen, nevertheless hurl into the universe a moving force, irreversible as light years traveling to the open eye. And who will join this standing up? And the ones who stood without sweet company will sing and sing back into the mountains and, if necessary, even under the sea. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Thus ends the reading.
Friends, loved ones, seekers of a more beautiful world, welcome. It is a profound honor and a true privilege to stand before you today. I stand here in a dual capacity as a fellow Unitarian Universalist and the new executive director of the UUANI. How many of us have experienced that deep, quiet pull, that internal vibration telling you when something is deeply right or profoundly, heartbreakingly wrong? We Unitarian Universalists have a name for that vibration, and we call it conscience. It is the compass that we carry, calibrated by our faith, our values, and the shared experiences that bind us. Our tradition is unique. We aren't built on a mandatory dogma. Instead, we have something much more difficult and much more beautiful. The brave moral imperative to live out the convictions of that inner voice. We don't have a creed to hide behind. We only have our conscience to guide us. And sometimes that compass points us directly into the eye of the storm. We find ourselves today in the heart of Black History Month. Now, I've noticed that in some spaces, Black History Month is treated like a museum exhibit. We dust off the photos of the 1960s. We play the I Have a Dream speech, usually just the safe parts. And we treat heroes like Rosa Parks and John Lewis as if they are static figures frozen in amber. But I want to offer a different perspective. I don't see this month as a look back. I see it as an operational blueprint for the present. When Carter G. Woodson founded this observance 100 years ago, he wasn't just looking for a pat on the back. He was building communal power. He understood a fundamental truth that we often forget. You cannot advocate for a people you do not respect. And you cannot respect a people whose history you do not know. Woodson knew that reaffirming Black identity and educating the broader community wasn't just about feeling good. It was a survival strategy. It was about ensuring that our collective conscience had the facts, the context, and the spirit necessary to survive a climate of cruelty. He was giving us the tools to build a fortress of the mind so that the arrows of the world couldn't pierce the soul. History is not a movie we watch. It is a laboratory where we learn how to mix the chemicals of courage and strategy to create change. But as we look at the calendar today, we have to acknowledge the air we are breathing this February. And let's be real, the air is heavy. We come into the sanctuary carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. We see the news alerts on our phones before we've even had our first cup of coffee. We hear about the escalating federal actions at our borders, families seeking safety being met with walls and wire. We see the continued suspension of SNAP benefits, leaving our neighbors' cupboards bare in a state that prides itself on being the breadbasket of the world. We see the legislative battles heating up in Springfield, where the basic dignity of our neighbors is often treated like a bargaining chip. In these moments, our individual efforts can feel fragile. Have you ever felt like you're trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol? You sign the petition, you make the phone call, you show up to the vigil, and then you turn on the news and see that the fire has only grown. When the news cycle is a constant drumbeat of no, not yet, and not you, the temptation is to retreat. The temptation is to pull the covers over our heads, delete our social media, and hope that if we ignore the world might return the favor. But the history we celebrate this month tells us something else. It tells us that resilience is not a feeling. It's not a vibe. It's not something you find at a yoga class or a self-help book. Resilience is a spiritual technology. It's the technology that allowed our ancestors to imagine freedom while their feet were still in chains. It is the technology that allows us today to offer care across Illinois, even when the federal winds turn cold. When we embody resilience, we aren't just surviving the storm. We are becoming the weather. This is where the Unitarian Universalist Advocacy Network of Illinois can come in. Countryside clearly has social justice in your DNA. You all are doers. If there is a cause, you're there. If there is a need, you're filling it. But I want to offer you a metaphor for how we work together. If your local work, the incredible things that you're doing here in Palatine, is the engine, then UUANI can be the transmission. You have a powerful engine, a V8 of passion and a turbocharge of moral outrage. But if you don't have the transmission to transfer that power to the wheels, you're just making a lot of noise in the driveway. UUANI is the transmission that shifts our collective power into high gear. Right now, we are shifting into gear for the Illinois Economic Stability Act. We're joining partners in Springfield, lobbying to bridge the gaps left by federal benefit cuts. We're working to ensure that property tax spikes don't displace our seniors in Palatine or our families in Peoria. We connect our 34 Illinois congregations. Think about that for a second. 34 congregations. From the North Shore to the southern tip of the state. When one congregation speaks, it's a solo. When all of us speak together, coordinated and focused, it's a moral chorus that the state capitol cannot ignore. We transform your individual action of the week into a spiritual infrastructure. We're building a protective barrier around the progress we've made, ensuring that Illinois remains a sanctuary of rights, no matter what happens in DC. I suspect some of you might be wondering how a woman who spent 2 decades at Google and the Disney company ended up leading a UU advocacy network. It's a very fair question, and one I get a lot. I spent years in boardrooms. I mastered strategy, operations, and efficiency. I know how to take complex, messy, unsolvable problems and design elegant, sustainable solutions. I'm here to ensure that every ounce of your passion, every minute of your time, and every dollar you donate has maximum impact. I've seen what makes work effective, and I've seen what makes it heart work. My goal is to marry the two. I want us to be the most strategically competent, operationally efficient force for love this state has ever seen. But my resume only tells half the story. I also come to this role as a Black woman. I'm an 80s latchkey kid. I grew up on a diet of Prince, neon colors, and the independence that comes from having my own house key at the age of 9. I'm a single mother who knows exactly what it feels like to look at a budget and wonder if magic is a line item I can rely on. And perhaps most pivotally, I was raised on the Navajo reservation. On the res, poverty wasn't a concept we debated in social justice committees. It was a neighbor. It was dust in the air. On the reservation, the capacity to dream was often a luxury people couldn't afford. I understood very early that seeing yourself and your circumstances improving is a key component of seeing possibility in the world. If you are walking a path and you can't see a way out, eventually you just stop walking. UUANI's job, our job, is to build the path. We are the ones clearing the brush and laying the stones so that the person who is exhausted, the person who is losing hope, can see a way forward. My life has been defined by the persistence of imagination. When you grow up with limited resources, you have to be able to imagine a world that doesn't exist. But just because it isn't there doesn't mean you can't get through the day. Envisioning this world as it could be, rather than just as it is not just a creative exercise, it's a survival skill. Resilience is the spiritual strength I bring to our collective work. I'm here to ensure that our intense moral passion is matched by fierce strategic competence. Because let's be honest, in Palatine, in Chicago, and Minneapolis, we don't just need to resist. I am tired of just resisting. Resistance is defensive, and I want to win. We need to win for the children whose benefits are cut. We need to win for our neighbors whose rights are on the ballot this November. We need to win for the planet that is gasping for breath. We need to win for our own collective liberation. Friends, our commitment to justice is not a hobby. It's not something we do when we have extra time. It is a spiritual discipline. It is as much a part of our faith as the lighting of the chalice or the singing of our hymns. And I'll be blunt, we cannot afford maybe later. The forces of dehumanization, the forces that want to roll back the clock on civil rights, environmental protections, and economic dignity, they are not forming task forces to talk about maybe doing something in 2027. They are moving now. They are organized. They are funded. We must be as organized as the forces we oppose. The elders say we borrow the earth from our children. I believe that's true of justice too. Our justice work is the debt we owe to the future. Resilience is how we pay that debt. It is the easy option to look at the onslaught of troubling news and fall into despair. Despair is cozy. Despair doesn't require you to do anything because everything is ruined anyway. But I believe that despair is a luxury we can't afford. Action is the necessity. Embodying resilience means choosing to believe in the possibility of a better Illinois, even when the evidence is thin. I would argue especially when the evidence is thin. As we move towards the primary election and into the heat of this legislative session, my promise to you is this: I will bring my whole self to this mission. I will bring my corporate strategy, my tech-driven efficiency, my Navajo-raised resilience, and my 80s latchkey kid, let's get it done attitude. But I can't do it alone. My call to you is to bring your whole self too. Bring your anger at the news. Don't let it burn you out. Use it as fuel. Bring your hope for the future. Use it as a compass. Bring your humor, because if we can't laugh at the absurdity of the world, we'll never have the energy to fix it. Together, we are moving from the fragility of the individual to the resilience of the collective. Together, we are not merely fighting against injustice. We are actively and deliberately building something for our neighbors. We are weaving a tapestry of care, across the state of Illinois. We are building a place where love wins, where equity is the baseline, and where justice rolls down like waters. And we are doing it with the same stubborn, beautiful, unreasonable hope that has sustained the history we celebrate this month for over a century. May it be so. May we make it so. Amen and Ashe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had a friend, and I want to say her name, Valerie Fons. She was a champion kayaker, and she literally kayaked from the North Pole to the South Pole, a 3-year mission, mapping waterways. She told me a story one time about when she was kayaking around the Baja Peninsula, and a storm that was way out to sea, that she couldn't see, had no way of knowing was there, hit. And all it did was churn up the waters. There was no rain, but it churned the waters so bad that she could not get into the shore without being capsized in the waves and bashed against rocks. And if she quit paddling, she would be swept out to sea. She had one choice only, no choice really. You keep paddling. She paddled for 36 straight hours. And she said she did it by singing. She sang happy birthday to everybody she'd ever met, several times. She sang through several hymn books, and she sang all of the Beatles repertory, and she did it over and over and over again until she could finally paddle to shore. In the choral genre lately, there has been an upsurge of sea shanties, people loving to sing sea shanties. And we have found one today for you that was written by a fellow UU and a fellow choral conductor who is at All Souls in Brattleboro, Vermont. His name is Tom Baer. The text is taken from the logbook of the whale ship Three Brothers out of Nantucket in 1846. On the surface, it's about rowing that boat, but metaphorically, it's about how we all must keep rowing, pushing, walking, striving for something better, especially when the waters are rough.
Beyond the
Thank you. What a gift. Lessons in Trying to Save the World by Nikita Gill. If you name it hope instead of impossible, if you hold it with tenderness, if you call it the blessing of your ancestors, if you look around and see the faces of everyone you love trying to save the world with you, then this work becomes love, and even mountains will move.
Please join me in saying our closing words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world.